All right, so I'm gonna let it chill for a sec so that people can start hopping on here. It's not during our typical day. Normally we go on Tuesdays, but today we're doing Wednesday. So we may get a new audience. So I'm excited. Okay, so if you're tuning in, please comment where you're watching from. There is nothing more awesome than community. So I'm just going to kind of hang out for a sec. If you want to just hang out too, welcome everyone. Welcome. So tonight, I have a really, really special guest. Now, for those, again, tuning in, please make sure you comment where you're watching from. Again, there's nothing better than community. So go ahead, comment on those, on that post. Share this with your friends. So my name is Jake Sussman. I am the founder of Superpower Mentors. Now, every week I've been going live and bringing some of the coolest leaders, entrepreneurs, change makers, and individuals that are passionate in the neurodiversity space, whether they're in the world of technology, business, entrepreneurship. And also what we do is we bring on some of our superpower mentors. And our superpower mentors, what makes them really cool is that they're just like your kids, right? We are all people who have gone through adversity and have overcome it and are doing something with their lives. So grab your kids, make sure you save this video and share this with your kids because this is going to be super inspiring. So tonight I've invited Marie to join us, who is an entrepreneur and superpower mentor. And Marie, welcome. Very happy to have you on. Can you hear me? Uh-oh.
Hi there. Sorry, I'm going back and forth with my end, but I'm so excited to be here and talk to you guys.
Oh, yeah. All right. So we're going to have some fun just learning a little bit about your story. I think it's really important for our families and our parents watching that, we've all gone through adversity growing up, right? And it's gonna be really nice to hear a little bit about your story. So Marie, can you tell me a little bit about where you are today and how you got here?
Absolutely. Well, I'm so thrilled to be here. I really like to shine light on neurodiverse minds, and it's great to be talking to my own community. So a little bit about me and where I am today. I have faced a lot of adversity to get here, and it inspires me to empower others. That's kind of why I am here.
Marie, can you just become a little closer to the computer to hear you better?
Am I echoing?
A little bit, but it's okay.
Okay.
It's okay. You're good. Go ahead.
Okay. So basically, I had to single-handedly break my family's generational trauma, cultural belief, negative stigma that was associated with ADHD, all while feeling kind of alone and overthinking my own thoughts when I was diagnosed at 15 years old. Not my diagnosis or why I felt something was off or something.
Hold on, we're actually having a little bit of technical issues. Marie, I actually can't hear you very well. Do you have
Is that okay?
Yeah, go right back. Okay, so while Marie comes right back, so something that we're going to do is I just want to share a little bit about the importance of having role models. So growing up with a learning difference, being able to have someone to look up to that isn't just a doctor, that isn't just a teacher, and also for you parents, right? That isn't just mom and dad, because look, at the end of the day, you can have all the knowledge in the world, but at the end of the day, your kids will always still see you as a parent, right? No matter what. And that's something that at Superpower Mentors, something that we've found a lot with the parents that we work with is that's a challenge, especially for your kids as they get older in their teens and young adults. And if you're watching this and you have a child who is in their teenage years, or if you're struggling a little bit, reaching your child, definitely you can share that a little bit in the comment as well. So something that Marie, once she comes right back on, is going to talk a little bit about is the importance of having a role model growing up with a learning difference. For me, growing up as well, and also for Marie, being able to have someone to look up to that can say, hey, I was there too. It's not just you alone. It's not just you having to figure it out. It's actually me also. I've been there. I understand what you've gone through. And that's something where for your kids to have that is super important. So being able to go out and find a role model for your kids is as an essential part to their success team. Look, you can have the therapist, which is great. We love our therapists and we love our tutors, right? Having someone that can be that confidant is going to be key. Now, I'd love to know a little bit from you. Can you share a little bit about how old your kids are that have a learning difference? That's going to really help us be able to share some more specific insight to that. Now, I also want to mention that it's April. So as we're gearing toward the summer, right? Because we have about 2 months left of school. Being able to help your kids find those outlets is going to be super important, especially as they start to navigate times of transition and lack of structure. Okay, so that is huge. Having ADHD, Marie has ADHD, I have ADHD. If your kids have ADHD, having that lack of structure can be a big disruption in our day, okay? It can not only be a disruption, but it can lead us to have some healthy outlets, whether it's through video games, whether it's through, other types of, just other types of outlets. And Marie, welcome back.
What did I miss? Hello.
Okay, so much better. I was actually just talking a little bit about the importance of two things. One is having a role model, right?
Yeah.
And like a mentor. And the second is that being able to navigate times of no structure.
Like this,
but also look, there's holidays coming up, right? We're talking about gearing up for the summer also. There's a few more months left of school. I know we're still in survival mode, but being able to navigate some of those unstructured times is going to be important. I mean, it can go as far as when the kids come home from school, in those 4 hours after school, how are they spending their time? Are they coming home and hopping right on their video games or scrolling on their phone, right? Are they coming home and watching TV? How are they spending that time? It's going to be really important because usually they'll come home and they're shot because they keep it together all day. And correct me if I'm wrong, Marie, this was like us in school. We kept it together all day. And then all of a sudden we come home and we are absolutely shot. We don't want to do anything. So usually, right?
Yeah, you get home, you're exhausted. If I had a mentor to talk to about my day, I would have felt less alone in that instance. I would have felt like my needs were actually relatable to someone else. I didn't feel weird about it.
Well, that's the point, right? And so if your kids are struggling being on technology when they come home, a really important piece to remember is that we have a very hard time visualizing time. So I come home, I don't have to worry about my day all day because I'm in school from 8 a.m. till 3 p.m. I don't have to worry about what to do at 11 a.m. That's already planned for me. But what I have to worry about is what to do at 8 p.m., right? It's open time. So the more that we can create that structure at home of where I know on Monday, Wednesday, Fridays, I come home and I do 50 jumping jacks before I start my homework, as an example. It's got to be more routine. Again, parents, having that structure for your kids with ADHD, especially, we need that structure in order to gauge how we navigate time. So now, and parents, if you have questions on this, on time management or any of that with your kids, if you're struggling with that piece, seriously, please comment in the section here because we want to help you. And this is something that we literally live with. right? So Marie, what was it like navigating time management for you? Like, how was that for you growing up?
Terrible. Navigating time management was terrible. I was known as the person that was always late to everything. I would procrastinate everything, especially my biggest tasks, the most important ones to me, I would procrastinate on. And for some reason, you know how we can all hyper focus with ADHD, right? I thought to myself, I can do this for the rest of my life. I can wait, hyper focus, and get that assignment done on the bus on the way to school. But no, I quickly realized going into high school and
Well,
college, you need structure, and we're not going to admit it either with ADHD.
right, right. And that's something that parents, I find, and I think like parenting a teenager, a high schooler versus parenting a middle schooler is very different, right? Because when you're in high school, we're trying to navigate our own independence. So if mom or dad is trying to, plan out my whole day in the afternoon, how am I ever going to learn how to do it on my own? And I feel like that's a lot of fear for parents, right? Now, what would happen when you didn't have structure? Because, and it's okay to be honest here because I'll share it too with me. Like, what was it like for you when you didn't have structure?
I seemed unorganized and it came off to others as laziness. It would it would allow others to judge the way I functioned because it was different. It made me fall back in school. It made me fall back in relationships that were not even like family too, as well as friendships. You come late to a party, it's kind of rude, things like that.
Right, right. So Marie, can you share a little bit more about what was it like for you growing up with ADHD and like, how did that impact your confidence as, a girl, right? And like navigating that whole thing. So tell me a little bit about that.
Absolutely. So I grew up in a Cuban family household, and I kind of had to be the first one to single-handedly break generational trauma in my family and openly talk about ADHD. I was the first one diagnosed with it. I was the first girl in my family diagnosed with it. And not knowing about my diagnosis, I always felt like something was wrong with me for most of my life until it finally became prevalent when I was in high school. Guidance counselors reached out to my parents. It was hard on me. I didn't want to accept the fact that I had ADHD. I didn't want to accept the fact that none of my siblings had it. I wasn't relating to anyone. I was trying harder in school compared to my peers and still I'd still get decent grades, but I was trying so much harder than others around me. And I was really struggling to keep up with other tasks. And because of that, I noticed that I was just feeling really alone. I was overthinking my thoughts. I was getting to dark places. And we don't really talk about this part with ADHD, but with ADHD often comes depression and anxiety. And in my case, I just needed to listen to my body and start to get control of my life. So once I started listening to my needs in my body, I kind of shifted towards my wellness and all that.
Yeah,
So
that's awesome. No, I really appreciate you sharing that. And also just want to again, I don't know, maybe our whole system, but your camera's blurry. I don't know if it got out of focus, but yeah. Anyway, while you figure that out, I will just mention this one other thing here is that what I love what you're saying is that you found a way to have healthy outlets for yourself. And this was something that I was talking to also as you were, I think it's refocusing now. It's almost there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like, as you were like building that confidence, right? Because frankly, like growing up with the learning difference, we're constantly being told there's something wrong with us, right? Whether it's having an IEP meeting or like doing these testing, being taken out of the class, not getting good grades, doing all these other things, right? So like, that's something that is like really, 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 it's important to recognize having those healthy outlets.
Absolutely. I mean, for instance, I took my outlets. I realized that I wasn't really relating to anyone. So what did? I started doing some yoga. I noticed that it was working for me. It was raising my heart rate. It was making me meditate on the thoughts in my mind because of all the overthinking. I started competing in scholarship pageants to raise money for college. And while doing that, I found a little bit of a passion. With ADHD, you're constantly seeking dopamine, right? I needed a little passion. I needed something that got my heart rate going. I started launching a grassroots effort where I was raising awareness on the lack of resources in mental health and the negative stigma that was associated with it, all while raising money for college. And you just really have to know what works for you, listen to your body. And I think everyone has their own different coping mechanisms.
Yeah, no, I absolutely agree. You know, how did you take I don't know why the camera, it's like bizarre. I gotta say, like, technology is great until it's not great anymore.
So you
So,
need
oh wait, wait, come closer to the camera. I think it's gonna be better. Maybe not. So, it also is big time storm, so maybe there's that too. So everyone just kind of bear with us. Marie's got some great things to say anyway, so just great. Okay, so now you found being an entrepreneur, right?
Yeah.
Like growing up and having to overcome a lot of those other struggles, that must have built a lot of strength to be able to, start your own business. So like, what was that like for you?
that was quite a journey. It was a journey of believing in myself. It was a journey of going against societal norms of the traditional means of success, the definition of success. I had to define that on my own. And it was also really empowering because I noticed that my ADHD allowed me, and what I do, so my ADHD was my superpower in this. I was able to combine my passion for holistic wellness and marketing together. I only work for companies that help others, that are a positive impact on society. And on my free time, I get my licenses, I build my knowledge in holistic well-being and have another stream of income. So I think that's really such an ADHD job of me. Combining the two, having different streams of income because you can do it. I think it's really full circle this moment to sit here today and say I did that, because I thought I was going to do the general, you go to college, you get one degree, you do this. But there's more to life. There's more things you can do, and you can do it all. And I'm living proof of it. And that's what truly motivates me to help others. And I'm living proof that you can succeed in any environment when you're a neurodiverse thinker.
I love that. There's so many, especially for our girls, like for like our middle schoolers, our elementary schoolers, like that are like still trying to like figure out combining like learning about this like new way of, getting diagnosed with this thing, having to figure that out, plus having to figure out your own confidence with yourself, socially, academically. What are some strategies or some like advice that you can give to like girls that are growing up, trying to find their own confidence?
Oh, absolutely. I think the biggest thing is be kind to your mind and listen to your needs. Women have an intuitive gut. We know what's going on, and you're never young enough to know, and be a self-advocate for yourself and talk to your parents about what's going on in your mind. For anyone, doesn't have to be just girls. Set a routine. Like Jake said, that is so important. I'm still using it to this day. I love to get up in the morning. I don't touch my phone, because if I touch my phone, I'm all over social media getting all my dopamine for the day. That exhausts me. The rest of the day, I'm burnt out. So instead of getting on my phone, I won't even check my emails for work. I have to tell myself to stop. I'll literally go outside. I get my vitamin D. I get my sunlight exposure, which is kind of like my holistic approach to life. I get my heart rate going. I love my jumping jacks and yoga in the morning. And then I'll do some meditation. And in that meditation, I do affirmations, and I tell myself, how did yesterday go? You did great. Today's going to be better. What are we going to do today? I set my goals for the day, And I personally, and I've always loved this since I was a little girl, I love checking off lists. My mom actually got me on that one. It's something so satisfying about writing it down physically and checking it off. It's like a reward to yourself, which is another dopamine hit for me.
Right. And I actually really, I like that, because something about ADHD that makes us unique is that, well, we love being in motion. We like progress, and that's a pro and a con at the same time. But being able to cross something out, being able to look at yourself in the mirror and say, what can I do differently for tomorrow, actually takes a lot of strength. And for a lot of kids, that being able to reflect like that could be really hard. Was that something that was always easy for you, or is that like something that you found as you developed your self-confidence?
I think it goes with both. I think because I wasn't very confident before, I sat there and I had these thoughts, but I wasn't able to get them out or kind of structure them properly. If I had talked to a mentor or a parent figure, they could probably help me with this process.
Wow. Yeah. That's really cool. What is some advice that you can give a parent? What do you
Tell
think?
your kids to be kind to themselves in this process. Be kind to yourselves. Have them feel comfortable with being vulnerable with you. Be in a safe space at all times. Like, be that safe space for them at all times. If they're being honest, which is a part of our disabilities, it's because we're sometimes brutally honest, or we need to get something out, or sometimes we need to ask why. Sometimes if we don't get the answer of why you want us to do something, we don't understand it, and it's kind of like we're just doing something just to do the motions. We're tired of doing that. We don't want to just do the motions anymore. We want to know why, because we have that ability to. We can tap in with our creative minds, and we can actually make that idea even better. So I think that seeing your kid as a growth mindset, and that they can just grow from any opportunity, and just keep them positive, and you're their safe haven.
Ooh, I love it. So if anyone watching this has any questions for Miri, just like about her, about her story, just about her, any questions that relates to time management, finding your confidence, being able to advocate for yourself, these are some really good opportunities to ask. I think, Marie, that as kids start to navigate and embrace their neurodiversity, being able to identify that you do have gifts. It is a gift. It's just you have to learn how to use it. And I think that's a lot about how we everyone has their own unique relationship with it. There's not one type of ADHD or one type of way we learn. Everyone learns differently.
And that's why it's so awesome that we built this community here. Everyone's different, and we're just all embracing it and empowering each other to just grow and be successful in any environment they can be.
That's great. All right, Marie, is there any parting thoughts or anything that you want to share just for final advice?
Yes. I have a couple sayings that I love. So you add tremendous value to the world, period. Whoever you are, you add tremendous value, whether you're the parent of the child with the neurodiverse mind, or you are the individual. You add value. Don't forget that. You have value. Society doesn't define your success, but stay focused on your path to it. Use that hyper focus of ADHD to get you where you need to go. You're capable of whatever you put your mind to, especially blessed with the superpower of hyper focus. Shed your natural ego. I know that might be towards our kind of older individuals. We can kind of talk to you about that. But if you shed your natural ego and seek what makes your soul actually sing, and then the rest will follow. And then my last one is smile, because you light up the world. And after you light up the world, everything else comes with it.
Okay. Wow. Whoa.
Now
think
let
it's
me mentor
true.
your child.
What?
Now let me mentor your child.
Yeah, seriously. I mean, like, okay, yes. So if you're watching this and you are a parent and you would like your daughter to be mentored by someone like Marie, please reach out to us. We'd love to talk to you about it. Again, we've done over 7,000 sessions with kids from all over the world, impacting them and giving them a mentor. So listen, Marie, thank you again for hopping on tonight. Thank you everyone for joining. Have a wonderful week, and I'll see you all next week, okay?
Thanks, guys. Sorry about
Bye.
the difficulties.